They're really big on tradition around here.
Every year, there's this parade where everyone gathers around a Friendo float.
Friendo?
It's the clown on all the Bay Pen corn syrup labels. He's practically a local legend.
Smile, Philly girl. You're about to become a sensation.
Clown in a Cornfield. If that title alone doesn't say amazing, then I don't know what will. All right, so Clown in a Cornfield. So, first things first, I was very hesitant on watching this movie. Why? Because this movie reminded me so much of Terrifier. And if you know me, my history with Terrifier isn't the best. You can just go watch previous reviews of those because I explain more deeply on that. So I looked at this and went, okay, this is just a Terrifier clone. Like, why would I want to watch this? Why would I watch this? But one of my friends said that they saw it and they said, you got to actually see this. Like, it's not like Terrifier. I think you may get a kick out of this. And I was like, okay, we'll see. So then I caught it on I was going through my streaming stuff and I went, you know what? Let's just watch this one. And I did. And yeah. Personally, I didn't really care for it. But I will say this. This movie was just fine. Not great, but I didn't hate it. The gore is kind of cool. Very sparingly, but I think is kind of cool. But other than that, and the gore doesn't go to the Terrifier level where it just becomes almost like a snuff film gore. It's like, okay, that was some cool effects. With Terrifier, it just gets to the point where it's like, okay, I'm watching a snuff film. I don't want to see this. I'm not disturbed. I'm concerned for what the hell is going on in your head to make you think of this stuff. But with this, it was like, all right, that was just cool. That was a cool special effect. I really like that. Now, that's really all I can say was good about this. So, first of all, characters aren't entirely likable. They keep bouncing all over the place, and then especially with, okay, so the story of this is a teenage girl and her father moved to this small town where they say, like, yeah, we're popular because there was like a clown murderer going around. And it's like, yeah, the first sign of that, I'd be like, all right, I would be like Gary Oldman in Fifth Element, pack everything up, we're out of here. Like, I'm not staying in a town where your most popular thing is a legend where a clown killed a bunch of people. Like, why would I want to stay there? That's just not happening. What's next? You're going to tell me, like, oh yeah, there's a clown that lives in the sewers, or yeah, there's all this crazy stuff. Like, there's vampires all over the place. And it's like, no, why would I want to live there? It's like, no, why would I do that? So, but anyway, but then, as the story, continues, there's an actual, like, clown, going around, and it escalates from that. But anyway, so characters I didn't really care about. They really kind of felt like some of Terrifier to me, where it's just like, all right, I know you're going to get killed off. I know you're going to die. You're going to die. I know you're probably going to live. I know you're going to live up until the third act. And I was right for most of the time. So I was like, it's predictable. Friends are dropping like flies, but yet they don't seem to really care. They don't really seem to care to check or anything. There's always those moments where it's like, hey, have you seen Ronnie? No, I haven't seen him since last week. I hope he's okay. And that's kind of given like the, no, Ronnie's not okay. There is no like, oh, wow, we haven't heard from him in a week. We should go check up on him. Just to see if he's all right. Because that's what I think friends would do. At least friends that I know. Instead of just going, well, I hope they're okay. It's like, no, they're dead. But you're showing the careness of that you actually give a shit about these people. So, whatever. There is a twist in the third act. And I think for some people, it may be cool. But for me personally, it was something straight out of a movie of mine that I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite movies. So, and it kind of felt like an afterthought. They just went, "Oh, we gotta find a twist in here. Let's do this." And when they were building up to it, that's honestly what I thought it was going to be. But when they first start out doing it, it was kind of like, okay, all right, that's kind of cool. But then it started escalating, and I'm going, wait a minute. I think it's going to be this. And it is. And I went, I think for me personally, I saw it coming. And if you're just going to do that, if you're going to throw something like that together, especially it being one of my favorite movies of all time, I will not say what it is. Because then that kind of gives things away. And I don't want to really do that. And if it has a purpose to it, I get it. But at times it really felt like an afterthought where it was like, all right, we got to try to find something to hook the audience on. And I think for some people it would work, and it does work, but for me personally, it didn't. Sometimes it seems like it wants to not be set in reality, but yet sometimes it does. Like it flip-flops back and forth where I'm like, yeah, see, if something like this happened, this would happen, this would happen, this would happen. And I get it's a small town, but still, like, if this town gave any shit about the town, you think that they would be on top of this, but it doesn't really seem like they care or they want to make anything better. So why should I care? So there's really nothing else good I can really say about this. The gore, like I said, the gore I thought was kind of cool. It didn't feel like Terrifier to me. And I was kind of liking where it was going. And at a certain point, even some like character parts, I was kind of like, all right, you're not likable, but I like the like little things that are being brought up and that kind of stuff, like misdirections and stuff like that, which is kind of like in a typical horror film, I'm going like, okay, I know this person seems sketchy, but no, it's not going to be this. It's not going to be that person. It's going to be something completely different. So, yeah. And there were some people in there who was like, hey, that's cool that you're in this. But unfortunately, they're barely in it. And I'm like, oh, okay, you're off. Like, for example, the main villain of this, I won't say who it is, but he's an actor I really like, shows up for maybe a scene and then is gone for maybe 20 minutes, shows up briefly in another scene, and then is gone until the climax, and it's all revealed like, oh, this happens and this happens. Like, wait, what? This seemed like, no. It honestly seemed like, hey, we got this person in here. Let's have them be the main like villain or the leader of the villains. And I was like, why? So did I think this movie was bad? No. Did I think it was good? Not really. It was just fine. I give this movie a fine. Just from the looks of it, and I thought of Terrifier, I was already dreading it, but it's not. It's, to me personally, it's better than Terrifier, but it's not particularly good either. You don't really care about a lot of the characters for me personally, you don't care about anybody, so they just kind of felt like meat to the grind. The twist at the end is very random and feels dropped at the last minute, and I've seen it done, like one of my favorite movies, but I won't say what it is because that will kind of give it away. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I don't think I'm going to be watching this again. There's a bunch of other slasher films I would rather watch than this one. And yeah, this one just felt like a one-off kind of thing. And I think I heard somewhere that they were potentially thinking about doing another one. That's like yeah, I know there's a fan base for this. Like, people did like this one, but I'm not in that camp.